in Kazakhstan we laugh when we hear the name because the bush, the hair around the testis satchel.
Bring me your balls.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
Hello everyone, this is the BBC Between Both Cheeks. Yes, we mean those cheeks too. Thank you for having us on. You can follow us on Instagram at Between Both Cheeks and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or iHeartRadio.
Or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
We are recording live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We have Holly.
Hi.
We have Becca.
Hello.
And I'm Luba. Yeah, just Luba, like Madonna or Cher. So I'm super excited. We've done a couple wax casts now.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually have some people that have DM'd and have written in. So this is what we've been waiting for. Yay!
Thank
you so much. So I want to address all of these questions first because this is so important about...
This is why we're doing it.
Yeah, all of our listeners. So the first one is from the Megan Scott on the gram. So just a little back history is Megan used to work with us as a receptionist, and she was from Australia years and years ago. She was an awesome, awesome employee. And she writes in saying, please dedicate a conversation to ingrown hairs, the prevention, maintenance, the lack of people talking about them, and the horror stories.
Okay.
So let's address this issue.
Okay, well... Ingrown hairs, Dr. Pimple Popper. I love them.
Gosh, do you?
So I don't necessarily want them to disappear forever. No. Ingrown hairs can be a serious debilitating problem, and I try to educate my staff on this all the time. Like, we are not a salesperson. We are not someone trying to make commission. We are like a doctor. We are helping our clients with issues. So if we ignore the ingrown hairs, if we don't try and help, if we don't try and offer advice, then we are not doing our job properly. First question, if it's a new client I haven't seen before, where have you been going to get waxed?
Okay.
I notice when I start waxing people with the correct technique, using the correct wax that doesn't snap the hairs, that I see a lot less ingrowns, okay? So if you're snapping the hairs, you're essentially shaving your client because they're gonna have regrowth within a week to 2 weeks. So that can cause a lot of ingrown hairs. So that's the first question. Second question, don't ask a closed question for this one. Do you exfoliate?
Right, because the answer is always
Yes, when I remember. The question is, and I learnt this the hard way when I was asking that question of my clients, what do you exfoliate with? Because everybody understands exfoliation as something differently. Yeah. When I realized my poor clients that were suffering from ingrown hairs, when I realized what they were exfoliating with, they were exfoliating with the sponge in the shower.
Or wash
harboring bacteria.
That's actually what washes your body. That actually doesn't exfoliate you. So actually having an exfoliating product that you can bring out of the packet, you can show them, do you have something that feels like this? Something rough, okay? Something that's rough that's going to actually exfoliate the dead layers of skin away so that the hair can pop through. Keeping in mind that everyone's a little bit different and everyone has different hair growth. If I see a serious case of like they've tried every product under the sun, they've exfoliated, they've used all the things and followed all of my advice, then the reason I think that I've become a good esthetician is because I'm always very honest. So if they suffer a lot of ingrown hairs, then I will start to talk to them about laser hair removal. That's just the way it goes. But there's a lot of things before that point that the people that suffer the odd ingrown, if they're just using the right product that actually works and exfoliating properly and seeing their wax spurt regularly, then they're not going to suffer these issues. So it's really about the education.
Yeah, and this is a big reason why I decided to ensure that our company was not commission-based, which the majority of the salons that are out there do have a commission base to it, is I never wanted to sell something to a client that they didn't need. I wanted to say, this is what we recommend and this is what's going to make your wax better and make it easier on the esthetician as well. So we are a non-commission company for that reason. So anytime we're recommending something at Wax, it truly is for the health and wellness of the client and their skin.
Yeah.
That's right.
all
Yeah,
the
not
goodness
just to
of
make
the heart.
sales. And that's a really good point because they become resentful. So I learned this in one of my sales trainings that like if you try and sell that client those 5 products just because like that's your target for the day or whatever, they'll take the 5 and that's fine. But they'll actually put them in their bathroom cupboard. And also when they've taken like, you know, upwards of 3 to 5 products, they're actually very overwhelmed with what to do with them.
Yeah.
So they put them in their bathroom cupboard and they shove them at the bottom there, and then every time they open that cupboard door, they're actually reminded that they spent upwards of $100 at your salon, that I've forced these products onto you. I actually don't know how to use them, and every time you open the cupboard, you think of that esthetician and you're resentful towards them. And that really stuck with me because I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want someone to open their bathroom cupboard and be resentful towards me. I only want to prescribe when I know something's going to work.
Yeah.
And I'm hopefully saving them money in the long run. Like, for example, if I can get them to wax regularly every 4 weeks and come more regularly and making sure they're exfoliating in between, then they're not going to be resentful. They're actually going to be thankful because I'm actually going to solve their problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just the way I look at it, and always being honest.
Totally off topic for a second because this is kind of what we do. But talking about, you know, selling 5 steps and then being resentful for that, this kind of takes me into Bright, and how we launched that was we wanted to simplify everything, make everything easier, because same thing when we're at the shows and we're training and everything and everything is so complicated as a system, we wanted to bring that down to a very professional, simple system for the professionals to use in the room without getting confused or wondering why they needed to use this step or why they needed to use the wand on a warm setting or anything like that. So
Absolutely. And when you're asking me to take something home and add that into my normal skincare routine, like that's a lot of effort. Even if I have that issue and I want to solve it, it's a lot of effort to be asking me to do, you know, upwards of 3 steps at home.
And we don't have time for that. I mean, this is why we took away, and this was with Holly's help, is analyzing our menu. And no one's coming to Wax for an hour and a half facial. Those days are gone. This is why we've started doing the express facials, right? People want in and out. They want instant results. They want instant gratification. Same thing when they buy something to take home. They don't have time to do a 3-step system when they get home.
Well, it's all about people are time poor, not money poor.
Yes.
So they're going to spend the money if they know that they're going to see the results. But I don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of time in the day. So if I can get a 30-minute facial and come out walking glowing, which actually every time I have the blueberry peel, yes, I look like that.
Yes, Eminence.
You know, exactly. Shout out to Eminence again, life-changing. But if you can also just take, you know, 2 steps home, exfoliate, treat, then I know exactly I'm going to get those results, and it's not a big add to my routine. Like, who wants to be doing that at 10 o'clock at night?
No. Or you'll do it for a week and you'll stop.
Yeah.
Because I know myself, I wouldn't do it every day.
And
I would do it for a little bit.
The end user, the client out there listening, we know when you lie. So don't tell us that you're using the exfoliating pad,
It's a
that you're
dentist.
using the spray. We know exactly, just
You
like the
don't
dentist.
floss.
You're not
We
flossing.
know.
We know.
Yeah.
We
You
can
brushed
see
your
it.
teeth in the bathroom. We know.
20 minutes before your appointment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, so to address ingrowns, they are an issue. Listen to what your esthetician is saying. I'm going to be really bold here, and I'm going to say wherever you guys are going, ask if they're on commission.
Yeah.
Ask the question. You have the right as a consumer to know that, and then make your decision from there if you think it's genuine or not. There's going to be a lot of hate mail from business owners with that comment, but it's something that I'm very passionate about.
But I think it's pretty obvious when someone's recommending something because they're passionate about it.
Or they
because-
use it at home themselves.
Yeah, and that's the only way I've ever been able to be successful in sales, and this is what I tell people in training all the time. Like, I can only promote products that I'm passionate about, and I know that they work.
Yeah.
So, which has been really hard because I have had to select jobs based on, well, what are you expecting me to sell? Because I can only promote something that I know works.
Yeah.
And from the esthetician's perspective, if you know of something that works, speak to the business owner about bringing it in. a lot of the time, like Luba, the business owner, isn't an esthetician, so they don't know what's out there and what works. They just know what they've always carried forever and a day. So, you know, be vocal about that. Share the passion.
Yeah. Well, what's really cute, and I want to drop a little hint about, is we are going to launch our own ingrown system shortly.
Ooh.
Yes.
So that is in the works. It'll be under the Bright brand. We're currently working on it, but as we all know, sitting here at this
Yeah.
table, is that it takes a lot of time, a lot of testing, a lot of development,
Yeah,
a lot
to
of
make
back
sure
and
it
forth with the lab to make sure that we actually put out the best product out there.
And there's not a lot on the Canadian market.
Not
There's
at all.
a lot that
Not at all.
works.
Something else I want to speak to is that we also offer ingrown treatments. We do.
Yes.
We were doing bikini treatments before the vajacial actually became a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's all over Instagram.
It's
I love
all
it.
over Instagram, and we were doing it 12 years ago.
Yeah.
We do
You
butt
need it.
facials, we do back facials. But speaking about ingrowns and things, and this is probably because we deal with a lot of performers and stuff in the US market, is don't be afraid to ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes what looks like ingrown hairs and pimples and stuff can also be a side effect of other things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How to
again,
recognize that.
yes, going back
Yes.
to where estheticians are very freaked out about if they're using a bad quality wax with a natural resin and the hairs are snapped or something happens or they're burning, lifting, right away it's a what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
Same thing with asking your clients and probing your clients on what's happening with their skin. Have the conversation and openly ask them if they are taking steroids.
Yeah.
Period. I'm going to say it. I've said it.
Okay.
It
side effect
sounds
is back
super
acne.
shitty.
Is it?
And actually, I think I was so naive in that because I didn't actually know that was a side effect of,
Yes. And
of taking steroids. And we were waxing some of the performers in Vegas and they were breaking out. And I was thinking, oh my God, this wax has never done that. Or I've never caused someone to have such a bad reaction. And then you actually said,
I stormed in. I stormed in the room and I
are you
said,
taking roids?
and he looked at me and he said,
Yeah.
yeah, I am. And I said, that's the problem.
Okay, and then we realised, so, you know, naive again, but we live and learn.
Oh.
So ask the question because it could always be something else. And ask the question about, well, what are you showering with? Like if they're using like a highly irritant soap, you know, and they're
Don't
using
use
that.
St. Ives.
And then, what?
St. Ives. Apricot scrub.
Oh, say knives. I thought you said to Holly, say knives.
I know, that's what I thought too.
Right? Because we always
Sorry,
make fun
we're
of her.
talking about
Sorry.
buns, now we're talking about knives.
Sorry, Tom Cruise's daughter. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, steroids. They did that.
Yeah, ask the questions, definitely. What medications, what soaps are they using?
Do you put any topical creams
Yeah,
on?
topical creams,
What are
anything
they?
like that could be causing the ingrowns. Don't always blame yourself or your techniques, but definitely have a look about what's in your wax pot and what sort of aftercare advice you're giving.
And allergies. Ask your client about allergies because even if you have a consultation form asking about allergies, if they are allergic to something when they eat it or when they consume it, they may not realize that also means that if you put it on topically that it will cause a reaction. So if you're using natural products with nut products in them, they might not. Well, usually nut allergies, they're pretty good about it, but you know, aloe, I've had people who are allergic to aloe and they don't put it on the form. And then
Yeah.
they get in the room, they're like, oh, I'm allergic to aloe. I didn't realize you. Like, you tell me everything you're allergic to. If you're allergic to cats, put that down. Like, grass, do it all. So speak to your clients about allergies, medications, everything.
Yeah.
Because
So-
they don't have the context and the education that you may.
I'm going to share a personal story with you guys about ingrowns. Yeah, here we
she had a
go.
big one?
I'll
Here
share
we
it
go.
now.
So this goes back to my girl Jacqueline, who I've talked a lot about in previous podcasts. So the one that really kind of helped me out to start my business, who's a very successful entrepreneur herself. She gave me my very first Brazilian,
Yeah.
right? And this is how I knew that I had an idea for wax, was kind of based on this idea. So I went in and I was waxed by her. There was obviously no aftercare or anything like that because I just didn't exist in the market at that time, right? I went home and I had sex. And I had like the worst breakout after. So 4 weeks goes by. No, sorry. 3 or 4 days go by and I have another appointment with her because I'm getting my brows done. So you gotta remember, like, she is a very strong, independent German woman.
Yeah.
So like very intimidating, especially because I was really, really young at the time. And she's doing my brows and she finishes and I said, Jacqueline, can I just ask you a quick question? And she's like, yes. And I said, so I had a reaction like on my Brazilian a few days ago that you did. And she's like, let me see. And I was like, oh, like right here, right now. She's like, let me see. I don't know if that's a good German accent or not, but. And I kind of like pulled my pants down and she pointed her finger at me and she goes, you had sex after your wax. And I was like, no, I didn't, no, like completely lied about it. But I'm like, holy shit, she just totally called me out and knew everything about it. She's like, don't have sex after your wax. And she left the room.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to actually debate Jacqueline here.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you are using a hydrocarbon resin, a synthetic wax,
Okay.
it's a very, very, very different feeling on the skin. And I actually promote my clients to go home and have sex.
What?
Woo, get it on.
Wow.
You're not getting the wax to wait 2 days. Like,
No, fair enough.
Hey, I've got a treat to show you.
Yeah.
It's very smooth. See you in 48 hours.
You're perfect pussy.
Yeah.
She's got a treat
It's
to
fresh.
show.
That's 48 hours. No, I actually do promote. So I do beg to differ there because
Okay.
if you're using a high quality wax and you've done all the pre and aftercare with high quality products,
Yeah, this was before.
you're fine to go.
Okay, so I'm going to say right now, Becca, egg,
Okay.
take your notes. We are redoing our aftercare cards with this
And
information.
someone can test it. So whoever's getting wax
Well,
next.
I've tested it and it was fine.
Ah, Tyson!
My first Brazilian too, so
Thank you.
it was before I would know
Okay.
what to do or anything, and it was at wax.
Because people
so-
don't listen. anymore.
Yeah. It was my
Okay,
first
so we're going to
Brazilian.
take that off, and I think we should put something in there on talking about the high quality synthetic resin that we use,
Yeah,
that it's
very
okay to do
different,
that.
should it?
So
Because
that
it's
was
not taking that top layer of skin, right? It's just taking the hair. Like, yes, you have an open follicle. So
And we do use
Talking a little bit
aftercare
more
now, though,
personally.
that will help.
more
depends.
personally.
Well, it depends how
Oh.
much.
Penetration.
That's different.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
What? What did I miss?
Only on the inside.
Oh, wait. Oh, well, I don't know. What?
What was your reaction?
What are you doing?
I'm fucking almost 40.
No, like, I mean, you don't, like, I'm not going to say, come and get waxed with me and then go to hot yoga, for
And then
example.
bang it.
Yes.
Like, I don't want
Sweating
you,
and
like,
working
do
out
you know
is
what I mean? Like,
okay.
there's a little bit of a difference. Because you do have an open follicle, so yes, bacteria can get in there. However, it's a different sensation on the skin because the hydrocarbon resin, it's only taking the hair, it's not really affecting the skin.
Okay.
But yes, you still do have an open follicle. But I've always promoted that you're safe to do whatever, and I've never had any problems. So
Only if you cleanse with the wax HR bar, tea tree, and lemon shower gel.
yes, exactly. And
Right.
you want to be, you don't want to be going home and then putting your,
I had
your
that at the
crappy
time.
soap on top of that because reaction can cause reaction. But
So that makes sense because that was years
Of
and years
course,
and
yeah.
years ago.
and waxes were very different back then as well.
Yes, and I know
And
exactly
no,
what they were using at that time, and it definitely was a
Exactly.
natural resin.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
that all
there's a few
made
different
sense.
factors, but yeah, hydrocarbon synthetic resins can definitely make a difference to that experience.
Yes.
So have
And
the
mine
conversation.
also had a glitter tattoo at that time too, so
Oh,
that
you're welcome,
if-
Tyson. Was
yeah.
it a tea?
No, we didn't have any. It was like I'm not gonna say actually. My
Tell me,
family might
tell
listen to
me,
this.
tell me. What was it?
It was the padlock for the key, but the padlock was in the shape of a heart.
Oh
It was-
my
yeah, it was really-
god.
Right, yeah.
No, he was away on a holiday, so I got my first Brazilian like right before I came back.
Do you send him photos?
No, I didn't tell him anything.
What do you-
It's
what would you
there,
call
and
that?
then
Not
he
a
pulled
dick
off my
pic. What would
pants
you-
and there was a glitter heart.
Not a dick pic.
A puss pic.
It's a puss pic.
No, yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was a surprise.
Nudes?
But if anything was
pic.
going to cause a reaction, I had glitter glued onto that
Your
area
vagina.
immediately
That's
after being waxed.
And then friction. So
and it,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was fine.
Well, there-
And that was my first one, so I wasn't doing any. I wasn't exfoliating. I wasn't doing anything.
So to answer Megan's question, Megan, wherever you're getting waxed now, you're going to have to tell them to contact Becca and make sure that
Yes.
they purchase
Tell them
our
about it.
wax So you don't get ingrowns after you have sex, immediately after. Wait for the new Bright Ingrown line to launch.
I have other products I can recommend you.
Yes,
as
we
well.
absolutely
Yeah.
can. And ask your waxer if she's on commission.
Yeah.
Or if she's on a sales target. Just
Yeah.
be
Exactly.
honest.
There
I
you
asked the guy I bought my phone from if he was on a commission or
What'd he
sales
say?
target. He was, but you know, that kind of thing they would be. But I was having problems with them actually. And I was like, I just came in here today and I just wanted a phone and you could have gotten your commission and it would all been fine. And now here we are. So get me on the phone with your manager. Turn into a Karen. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, next segment.
Oh, wait,
Whoa,
what is
crack the
this?
can.
What is this drink?
It's good.
I'm on keto right now. Neutral 7? Is that what it is?
Neutral?
Neutral?
I just know them as neutral. 7 might be the new black.
Who told us about this?
Oh, I don't know.
You told me
Someone's-
about it. I don't know. It's good.
Who told us? Was it Trish?
Could have been.
Trish?
They're popular in
No,
Vancouver.
it was Carver.
Neutrals
Oh,
and
shout out Hair by Carver.
Wow.
Yes, we used to work with him, and he introduced me to this incredible drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar. So shout out to him for this amazing drink that we're drinking on our podcast tonight.
Cocktails.
Cocktails. Megan, we hope you eat.
Oh, that's
This
a
is
good sound.
ASRM. Yeah, this is good.
So good, baby.
It's a great noise.
Can you hear this? Can you hear the bubbles? Oh, I just stopped. Never mind. Let me have a sip. Okay. Love letter number 1 down, Megan. We hope we helped you out. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. If you ever want to come back, please do. We would love to have you back.
Okay.
Open door policy.
Open door policy.
Yeah, back door though.
Okay, who has the next one?
We wrote it down, so I'll just get that so I can get the username right.
Did we write it down or was it sent in?
Okay, no, it's here. So this is from @skin by Gabby _ and she is asking, she says, I'm new in a management position in a salon and I have an employee that I keep talking to about the same issue. I don't know how I can keep doing this without feeling like her mother. Okay, well, that's a fair question.
Okay.
I might not be the best person to speak on it, so
The egg?
yeah,
Egg doesn't want to speak on it? Okay.
I'm a baby. I'm also a new manager, so I don't know if I can help you, Gabby.
So Gabby feels like a mother.
Yeah, I think she means just like nagging or like.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would understand that feeling.
So, with having the business for 12 years, this has been like an ongoing thing. Before I had, like both you guys in place to take care of the nagging.
It's fine right now.
For me, I mean, it's really just having a conversation, but obviously it sounds like Gabby, is it?
Yeah, Gabby.
Gabby has had these conversations and it's not working. From there, I would probably do a sit down.
Yeah.
So sometimes I find when conversations are had in passing, they're not taken as seriously. As soon as you tell someone like, hey, come join me in the office for a second or come have a sit down with me, all of a sudden like a little bit of that fear kind of sets in a little bit where it's a sit down with the manager. Hey, so I know that we've addressed this in the past. It hasn't changed and I need to address this again with you, whatever the issue is. So they're late to work. I don't know. I don't know what she doesn't. Did she say?
No, she just said she's having issues. and
Okay, so obviously, hopefully, I don't know if it's the same issue or many issues, but if
Yeah, I
it's
guess
a
that would
conversation in
depend.
passing, maybe just do a sit-down conversation and make it a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
From there, I would say if that doesn't change, there needs to be a written warning.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Right, a written warning on, and I'm very much a person of like 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah,
so this
I was
is
about
your
to say
first
that.
warning.
Baseball.
Yeah, this is your first warning. This is in writing. We are now acknowledging this issue together. You're going to sign this piece of paper. I'm going to sign this piece of paper. It's going to go in your file. This cannot happen again, or else you will be terminated.
Yeah. And I think depending on the issue, the question needs to be asked, how can I help you get this right?
Yeah.
Like if they are being like, do you need for me to adjust your start time? Like if that's possible. I know that's not always possible.
Yeah.
But do we need to adjust your hours? Like what is the situation? How can I help you within reason to get to that
Help you?
point? Help you.
How can I help you, darling. Darling, take a sit down with me.
Darling, sit down.
Darling, we have a
Darling,
chat.
sit down. This is not on. You're not up to standard. How can I help you? Oh, there's the door.
There's a door. This is not a jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really the best advice that we can give, right?
Okay. If you need more guidance on that, Gabby, or if it's something particular to your situation, just write us back again. And
Again, I wish I knew exactly what the issue is, because the other thing that I might want to add.
how you've addressed it already.
Yeah.
Is
more
there
details.
a policy that maybe Gabby has or maybe doesn't have? Like, is this something that can be taken care of as far as hiring?
From the induction process.
Yeah,
like,
so-
this is what we expect, this is what's acceptable,
Yeah.
this is what we tolerate, this is what we don't.
So where's
Setting
your-
those boundaries from day one can definitely help. But, you know, people are people. We
Yeah.
can't remember everything. And
So do you
we
have like an
forget.
employee workbook, handbook, where they start, where these are your
Exactly.
expectations? Is that something that, because that could maybe fix the whole issue from the beginning,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, start it before it starts.
Gabby, stay strong.
We got
As an entrepreneur, between
feel
both
you.
cheeks, we got you, we feel you. If there's anything else that you can give us that we can kind of help guide you in a better way, let us know. God, I feel like a love guru or something.
Oh,
Dr. Phil! I feel like Dr. Phil!
Oh my God, no.
Take the love.
Where's Robin?
He's not a good man.
I like Dr. Phil. Why don't you like him?
He's not an actual doctor.
Yeah, he's a psychologist.
He used
no.
to be. He was like.
No, he's a
Doesn't matter.
counselor. He's a certified counselor. He's got a certification, not a doctor's degree, right?
He's like definitely touched
Dr.
children.
Phil.
I can't! Stop!
For sure.
No.
You have voted off. Dr. Phil is the best.
I love Dr. Phil.
Oh, okay, vote in, please.
Okay,
Come on, guys, support me.
Do we have another letter?
Next one.
Okay, love letter number 3.
Okay, so we had an anonymous
Oh.
caller.
Oh.
Caller?
Yeah, we're like a radio station.
Like a
now.
Valentine.
I want to know who they called. Who did they call?
Phone number.
Oh, like, did they call 1-8?
They could have done it on the website because I think you can do it on the website.
Or they got, we have 1-84444
Oh yeah,
wax
our wax
bar.
number, and it has
That could be
voicemail.
wholesale, yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So they wanted to know.
Wait, who is it? Are they anonymous? Did they say where they're from? Where are they
This
from?
one was anonymous.
Where are they from?
I don't know.
They did it in a
They didn't say.
robot voice like this the whole time.
Hello.
They didn't say. But what they wanted to say was, in their anonymous muffled voice on the phone, they said that social media enhances so much of our business,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
but
Oh.
how do we handle negative reviews?
Oh. Oh, wow.
It's a double-ended sword, isn't it? Double-edged sword.
Double-ended or double-edged? I would say double-ended.
But that would be worse.
I would say that.
Double-ended would be worse because how do you hold it?
True.
Cut your own hand. We're double-edged.
I'm
Aren't all
ESL.
swords double-edged? Because they're
I don't
sharp
know.
on both sides.
Is it double-ended?
The actual phrase is double-edged.
That sounds right, but
yeah,
double-edged
double-ended.
sounds better.
Double-ended is way scarier.
It makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's like a
So-
staff or something.
Okay,
Well, anyways,
so
question.
she's got anonymous that called in.
Yeah.
Those of you that want to call in 1-844 for wax bar.
Yeah.
You can also
Call in.
that way.
Yeah.
So negative reviews on social.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what do we do? Because you can't hide them. Like,
No.
they're going to
And some
happen.
of them are valuable for consumers or for you to learn
I mean, as
from.
a consumer, like, and I do use reviews. Like, I mean, I moved to
it's
Canada,
the right
for
kind
example.
of negative
Okay.
review.
So I needed to find lots of new services.
Yeah.
I needed to find like a nail place. I needed to find like a doctor. So I look at reviews.
Yeah.
Now, being in an industry like I'm in, I kind of laugh a little bit because I look at these places
Yeah.
and you can normally tell the fake negative reviews.
Yeah.
So I do have a little bit of a giggle because if the majority are positive, I don't really pay too much attention to the negative. And if the majority are negative, then I just skip along to the next one and, you know, nothing personal. But also, things can change. So, I mean, even my nail salon, for example, I read a few negative reviews from there. But it was very convenient to where I lived, and I liked the price. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna and they had good reviews as well. There was a mix of good and bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went there, and oh my god, I'm in love with my nail guy now. Like he's the best. And I straight away went on there, and I was like, and I'm not. I must admit, I'm actually not one to review a lot of places, like unless it's like
It's very Australian.
outstanding.
Yeah.
But because I had noticed that they had a few negative reviews on there, I went straight away, and I was like, no, this place is the best. And I put a photo of my nails, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna change this for them because. But it's funny. I said to him, I go, you know, you've got negative reviews on the internet, and he's like, I don't care. He goes,
I love that.
My customers come back to me. I look at their work, and he always looks at me like, you know, I'll
Your
go in
nails are
every
always
3
so
or 4
nice.
weeks.
And they last so long.
Sometimes I can go 4 weeks, which in Australia
Is that gel?
I have acrylic with shellac on top,
Okay.
so it's
but she
very
gets them
strong.
really short so they can grow out. For
Yeah.
a long
Yeah. And in Australia, I could never go longer than 2 weeks. And every time I go back to him without fail, he's like, just looks at them and admires them and goes, yep, none broken. I'm like, I have a job that involves my hands,
Yeah,
so that says a
yeah.
lot. You know, so I made a point of saying to him, I put a positive review. He goes, I don't care. I look at the work of my customers. They come back. They're happy.
Yeah,
the nails aren't broken. I was
That's
like,
good.
yeah, good for you. Good attitude.
Yeah.
So
But that's
I-
on the business owner side. The consumer side, you have to get them in the door.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So not everyone's going to look at it like that.
So I wasn't going to speak to this question, but
Okay.
since you brought up this gentleman that does your
Yeah.
nails, I'm going to talk about it. So
Go to
I don't know if it's age or what it is
I've
going
written
on
one
with me
bad
now.
review in my whole life, and it was not a Karen review. It was well thought out, and like, I was still pretty
Of course
nice.
it was, Egg.
It was a really long.
But I've kind of taken on the same mentality as him. I still respond because I think it's important to have
Yes.
a response. I think you can, like you said, you can filter out the shit reviews that are bullshit and fake.
Yeah,
I think the
just angry
consumers can
about
see that.
something,
But I've started to. I'm going to read you a review
Okay, yeah, let's do it. This is interactive.
that I just
I
that I
like
just
it.
responded to, and this is kind of shit that again that entrepreneurs need to deal with all the time. I'm done kind of hiding behind a curtain and protecting people. I would rather have all the shit out there and exposed and say, you know, who we are and how we run our business, and it is what it is.
Okay.
So this is a review that I just responded to the other day. It says, very dirty work environment.
Okay.
And never had the same staff, spelt incorrectly by the way, when I visit. Don't go here. I much rather go to European Wax Center. Okay, 1 star on Yelp. So
Out of 5? They
out
did
of 5.
on?
1 out of 5. So, and we've got like a 4.8, I think, average kind of rating or something on there, 4.5 or something.
The Vegas one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Vancouver, we use Google more.
So the first thing I do, because I see the name, is I flag it because it is a former employee. So I flag it as this is a conflict.
A recent one? Or like old?
No, it's not. I mean, not that old, but
Okay. Top of mind, kind of.
yeah, because they've used their correct name, so it is what it is. So Yelp comes back, and I've always said from the beginning, when Yelp tried to get my business 12 years ago, I will not pay for false reviews, and I will not pay you to take down bad reviews. Period. I'm not paying you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's shady. That's bad
what it is.
business.
Yeah.
Yelp is a complete
Not authentic.
ripoff, and it's horrific for business owners to deal with. It is one of the worst websites I've ever had to deal with in my life as a business owner. It's really shitty. So I wrote back. As we both know, you have never visited our establishment as a client and barely showed up for work as an employee, which is why we terminated you. Apparently, this has caused you to be disgruntled, which also is an unfortunate way to live life. We wish you all the best.
Oh my goodness.
But wait for it.
Oh, no.
This is my fuck you to Yelp.
Okay.
Since Yelp won't take down this false response, we welcome anyone to the store mentioning this review to receive 5% off their services.
Okay. What? So an old employee left.
Oh, this happens
a
all the
bad
time.
review.
All the time.
Like in any disgruntled
Okay.
employees, it doesn't matter if it's this business or another business. Like
That doesn't-
people use
yeah.
social media, they use and abuse to try and tear people up,
To give
tear
them
them down.
power.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors. That's what
Yeah.
I call them,
Yeah, it
right?
doesn't
Everyone
change.
everyone is really strong behind a keyboard. Come say it to my face.
Yeah, do it at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
the way
really
that
sad
I
and
deal with
unfortunate.
negative reviews. To this anonymous person that called in, I don't know if that's the right way to deal with it.
No.
But that honesty is the best policy,
Yeah.
and that's the way that I respond to stuff.
Yeah. I think, all you can do is praise your positive ones.
Yeah.
Encourage your loyal clients to
Yes.
give positive reviews. Everyone's going to get negative ones because
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
You can't
No.
please everybody.
Everything, though.
Like, you can't. So just
if you-
keep doing your thing, and if the positive outweighs the negative, then you don't need to look
Yeah.
at your
and
business
the
as a
good
whole.
people will see past that, just
Of course.
like you did, Holly.
Yeah.
And I think to always kind of look on that bright side too is to
Bright
this
side?
to bright side, BRYGHT.
At brightenup.com.
Is to encourage your current staff that are doing an incredible job at your stores to tell their clients, hey, please write me a review.
Yeah, mention
or-
my name.
mention
It
my
helps me
name.
a lot. I'm not on commission at this company, but if you mention my name in the reviews,
and to help their
I'm gonna keep my
rebooking,
job. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
people will request me if they see my name up over and over and over.
I think that as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is the loneliest place in the world. I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah.
It's a really lonely place. You don't have an HR department that you can go to. You don't have a manager that you can go speak to that's above you. You definitely can't go talk to your staff about your issues. So when these reviews get posted, especially as a new business owner,
Yeah.
it weighs on you heavy and you lose a lot of sleep over it. Only after 12 years have I been able to respond in this kind of manner and let it kind of roll off my back, if you will. Look at the positive.
Yeah.
Encourage your current staff that are working hard for you, doing a great job, rebooking your clients, bringing business in. Encourage them to just outweigh the bad with positive reviews.
Yeah.
And if it's a genuine negative review, like,
it's written
try and rectify the
constructively, yeah.
situation.
Of course.
Try and rectify the situation. Like, maybe your front desk person was having a bad day.
Yeah.
So let's offer them a discount to come back in. Or
Absolutely.
let's try and make it, make it better. Things are going to happen in life.
Just give them a
It's
call
not-
and
yeah.
talk to them and ask.
Well, that's the
Exactly.
biggest thing is to respond right away,
Yeah.
to try to
The
reach out.
genuine negative reviews will want to hear back from you.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we've definitely had negative reviews where we've reached out, we've rectified the situation,
Yeah.
they've changed
They
the review,
update
or
the
they've
review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
removed their review. We've definitely had
Exactly.
situations
And
like
you
that.
can learn something from that experience. So
Yes.
just keep growing. We all make mistakes.
You know it affects the clients if they're unhappy about
Yeah.
something. And then on the flip side of that, if you're in an unhappy work environment, like we spoke earlier,
There's the
try to speak about the problem before you leave. Like talk to your boss, talk to your manager, and if it's after the fact, if it's a larger company, write a proper constructive letter and send it to corporate, send it to HR if it was that big of an issue.
That's right.
Like, handle it in a mature way that will actually get a solution instead of writing a review on the internet. Like if you're that unhappy about it, there are things that could maybe be done, and do it that way instead.
Yeah.
And business owners don't take it to heart, as much as that is very hard to say and understand. Let it better your business.
Yeah.
And just learn from it, right? So I hope that helps with our caller that called in. I love getting these calls
Already?
and emails and DMs.
Yes,
Please
yes,
keep it
more.
going.
And we love seeing on the little map where everyone is listening and downloading.
Yes, we
Oh,
can
yes.
see. We can
We
see
can see you.
Places we don't even know,
We know where you
people
come
are
from.
Who are you? Please tell us
Fans
who you
all
are.
across the globe.
Literally, like I don't
Shout
know
out to
anyone
Melbourne,
in-
Australia, and
Yeah.
Little Werribee.
Why do we have so many people in England?
I know. Who's calling? Who's singing
tell us who you
Ireland?
are.
Oh my God! It's Meghan Markle. It's Harry. It's Harry. She's ready for her anal bleach and she's sourcing.
Hey, maybe
Sorry,
it's the
she's in
facial.
Vancouver, not
Already?
If she
Yes,
does come in,
yeah.
It's the
that
queen.
then we
It's the
won't
queen.
the queen.
It's the queen. She's sourcing and anal
my gosh.
bleaching for
Well,
her
we have
duchess.
a British following,
There's-
so
no, they don't leave the castle.
stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us for another Waxcast. Please send in any of your questions to
www.betweenbothcheeks.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at betweenbothcheeks and send us a DM.
slide into a
Yeah, if you want to leave a voicemail, if you want to remain anonymous other than your voice, you can call us at 1-844-4
Yeah, we love
and that's fine
receiving
too.
your calls.
Yeah. We don't get your number if you call that number, so it's fine. It's just your voice. So as long as we can't recognize your voice, you're good. Yeah.
DM. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.